So recently I was invited to co-host a singles group with my church, and I decided to do it with some fear and trembling because honestly, singles groups have never really been something that I found to be all that edifying, encouraging and a place to really connect with people because I think that single people in general haven't figured out how to find contentment in themselves. So they're looking, they're looking like we're all looking for something to fill a void in our lives, and oftentimes in singleness we think that it's somebody else that can help fill this void, and I've found that it's not. We have, first of all, have to find that God is the real source of that purpose and fulfillment for our lives. And when we do things God's way, it's amazing how much better relationships are. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but this is a study has been done on who has the best sex, and it's conservative religious people have the best sex. And I have a theory about this because conservative religious people tend to think of others before themselves. They tend to have a worldview of service for others. And I mean, I didn't really mean for this to be a sex talk, but it seems like the best sex would be sex that is focused on pleasuring the other person. And I think that that's God's desire for us in general. It's a great example of the way that we should show up in the world. Is we should not try to feed our own desires, make our own pleasure, our own wishes and wants the center of what we do. I think that that's probably why singles ministries don't work, because we're looking to fill something for our own lives instead of focusing on how we can serve someone else. And I think that's true for business. I think as in any relationship, whether it's a dating relationship or a marriage, the more that we focus in on solving other people's problems, fulfilling their needs. Zig Ziglar has this great quote that if you help enough people get what they want, then eventually you'll get everything that you want. And I love that. I think it's a great life principle, because if we focus in on helping people get what they want, then the world opens up to us. So I'm just thinking about what it would take to have a great singles ministry. And I think it's largely focused in on how we can better serve one another and stop thinking about taking care of ourselves, or how we can fulfill our own wishes and wants or needs and desires to be married, for example. I mean, I've been single my whole life, never been married, and I found great joy and intimacy in relationships with both men and women. Now, we're not talking sexual. I think intimacy is that mutual service. It's finding people who can be our champions, people who love us and respect us, and who have our best interests at heart. And I think that that's really the focus that we need to have when it comes to relationships in general, business. If we're thinking about how we can best serve the people around us, whether it's our employees, whether it's our customers, our suppliers, doesn't matter who it is, if we have their best interests at heart, then they're going to sense that, they're going to know that, and you're going to create an alliance and a sense of loyalty from that person or from those people. So that would be my focus, I guess. That is my focus for this singles group, and it's a Christian group. So obviously there are some parameters there that kind of that help us to create boundaries. The focus of the group is on boundaries. And it's interesting how if we set up boundaries, it creates more freedom. If I'm traveling on a highway and there wasn't any lines on the road, that would be caused for being more cautious and slowing down, because you're not exactly sure where that boundary is. And I think that's true for most relationships. So thinking about the boundaries that we need to have healthy relationships is a big part of being a healthy single. So anyway, I'm just ranting and thought I'd share some of my thoughts about singleness.